are the worst side effects of prednisone? I wanted to know. So I asked fellow prednisone warriors, what are the worst side effects to prednisone in your opinion? And this is what they had to say. I'm Dr. Megan, the prednisone pharmacist, and I'm here to help you not just survive prednisone, but thrive while on prednisone. I asked a whole lot, hundreds of prednisone warriors, and I got like 150 responses to people saying, this is what I think is the worst prednisone side effect. And I ranked them, I sorted them and ranked them to figure out which one really is the worst. I'm going to start in the lowest of the top 10 and end with the one that took the cake as the worst side effect to prednisone. I don't necessarily personally agree for me that these were the worst side effects, but this is what prednisone warriors said. These are their words, so I can't argue. All right, so the number 10. We're going 10 down to 1. Number 10 is bone pain or bone loss, osteoporosis. So prednisone sucks nutrients out of your body, including calcium, and that causes bone pain or bone loss. Specifically, the bone loss comes from not enough calcium because prednisone is depleting it. So bone loss. The bone pain, I'm still trying to figure out what's causing that. And then people also called it joint pain. So that one totally blew my mind. Because as a pharmacist, I learned that prednisone is prescribed for people who have joint pain. Rheumatoid arthritis, polymyalgia rheumatica, all of these different rheumatoid conditions are often because of joint pain. Like the joints get all swollen, and so the prednisone helps decrease the swelling, which helps the pain go away. So when I found out that people were saying prednisone is causing joint pain, I was like, no, that's not a thing, because prednisone isn't causing the joint pain. You are suddenly feeling like you have rheumatoid arthritis. Like I didn't see that this is actually a side effect. It's not one they taught me in school. So joint pain, bone pain, people describe it as incredibly painful, and nothing helps. I've heard nothing helps. Not opioids, not Tylenol, nothing. Like, it's just incredible pain. So that's why they call it the worst for those people. The next one is closely related, and that's avascular necrosis. Another word for that is osteonecrosis. Basically, necro means death. So bone death. Terrible. That means a joint replacement is in order. Like, for example, getting a hip replaced or a shoulder replaced. And this often happens in super young people. And 30-year-olds are not supposed to get joint replacements, right? That's what prednisone can do. So that was number 2. Number 3, eyes. So first, it's a minor one, and it's blurry vision. People complained that was their very worst. I personally experienced it. I didn't consider it to be that bad, but maybe my blurry vision wasn't as blurry as other people's blurry vision. It was really disconcerting, though. I thought I needed like a new prescription. The next one is cataracts. And then the following is glaucoma. So all of these weird eye conditions, some of them are permanent, some of them aren't. This is why I always encourage people to get an eye exam routinely. Talk to your doctor about how often you need it. So that was number 3. Number 4 is hot sweats or flushing, hot flashes. Basically, you think of woman going through menopause. What has she got? She's turned red cheeks. She's sweating, like dripping sweat. Hot flashes. I personally experienced this. I'm not remotely close to going through menopause, and I suffered that while I was on prednisone. It was miserable. I'm not looking forward to menopause. The next one, I believe this is number 5, is diabetes and high blood sugar. So what's important to know is prednisone is messing with sugars. It's called a glucocorticoid because it messes with glucose, the number 1 sugar in our body. And that's how it's working to save our lives, to make our condition go away, to take our pain away, to let us breathe. It's messing with this whole system that breaks down sugar and uses it properly. And one of the ways it does that is by stealing chromium, which is this vital nutrient. It's a metal that we use in the center of our complex of insulin and sugar, and it's important, and prednisone is sucking the chromium out of our body. And that's why I encourage people to take chromium while they're on prednisone. Okay, so high blood sugar, and also that's why I encourage people to lay off the sugar while on prednisone. The only sugar you should be eating while on prednisone is naturally occurring, no added sugars. Okay, related to that is weight gain. So weight gain happens in lots of ways. I've done tons of videos about prednisone causing weight gain. Check them out. I'll link to one above. But weight gain, other ways people described it was bloating, also fluid retention, and this is happening because of a huge appetite. So I personally got the prednisone munchies, and oh my goodness, I could eat an entire container of Oreos. I could eat the entire cake, all of the things, and I couldn't just stop at one. No, So that was one of the worst side effects that people described. Okay, only 4 more to go. So that means this one must be 7, 8, 9, 10. 7. Number 7 is mood swings. The prednisone roller coaster of emotions. It makes you go from high to low like that. People also described it as can't control emotions. That the road rage / roid rage, because prednisone is a steroid. Roid rage is real, that it is miserable, and you feel like, oh family, I'm sorry, this isn't me, it's the drug. Then number 8, that's very closely related, is anxiety, panic attack, agitation, and psychosis. So all of these actual diagnosable conditions. So the mood swings and the emotions, that's not like a diagnosable thing. Like, it's just not fun. Whereas anxiety, that's a diagnosis. Panic attacks, that's a diagnosis. Agitation, psychosis, those are all things that you need to get help. And it's terrible. People describe this anxiety as awful, just worse than whatever condition they were treating. Like, this guy had COVID, and he's like, this anxiety is like mind-blowingly horrible. I would rather have COVID and be hospitalized and intubated than have this anxiety. I was like, whoa, okay. Yikes, it's terrible. Psychosis, like if you're getting psychosis from prednisone, that's a reason to stop taking it, and you need to talk to your doctor. And you never, ever, ever stop taking prednisone without talking to your doctor. Not ever, because it can make you die. Number 9 is moon face, Cushing syndrome. So the round face shaped like the moon. Like, you can kind of see a little bit of my wrinkles. I didn't have any while I was on prednisone. It was kind of nice. No smile wrinkles, nothing. You can see my smile wrinkles because there was so much fat deposited around here that I didn't have a jawline like I do now. I just had this from here to here was just round. And prednisone, it just deposits the fat and the swelling here. It also can do that on the back of, like right here on the back of your neck / like your buffalo hump, or on the collarbones. Prednisone can deposit fat there, and that's all called Cushing syndrome. And it's not pretty and it's not fun, but I've got an awesome video and article about that, about embracing moon face. So check out. Oh, I was counting down. I can't get my numbering right. This was the second worst thing. The one that people described twice, like the second most often thing people described as the worst thing was the moon face, was the visual disturbance of their body. What looks different when they look in the mirror, they don't see themselves. I didn't see myself in the mirror anymore. It's like, who is that girl? I don't feel like myself inside. I don't see myself in the mirror, in the reflection. So that was really number 2, but it was the 9th one I mentioned. Sorry for the confusion in the numbers. But I've mentioned 9 so far. And that was number 2. Counting down to the 10th thing I've mentioned, which is the number 1 worst side effect people said. I don't necessarily agree, although I kind of agree. The worst side effect people said, more often than any other, I guess, insomnia. Staring at the ceiling at 2 o'clock in the morning, wishing you could fall asleep. Having your mind racing. Like, why do dragons blow fire? How do dragons blow fire? How does blowing fire happen? You know, like it's miserable. Having prednisone causing insomnia. Not only is it like lonely because you're the only one awake, but your body needs sleep. Like, that's why you're taking prednisone, is because there's something wrong, right? Like, you need sleep. And so this one is just a vicious cycle. Like, you can't sleep, and so you can't heal, and so you have to keep taking prednisone, and so you can't sleep, and so you can't heal. And so, it's just, terrible. And then it worsens all these other things too. The insomnia is worsening your mood, right? Like, if you're not sleeping, you're not happy around your family. It worsens your appetite because those important hunger hormones that help you feel full and I can stop eating now. You need sleep in order to really secrete them properly from your brain. And so I can see why people ranked insomnia as the worst side effect, probably because it's the number 1 tweeted side effect. People go on Twitter and are like, I'm on prednisone. This is the worst thing ever. I'm way up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's the number 1 tweeted side effect. But can you believe this? Insomnia isn't listed on tons of side effect lists. Yeah, it's crazy. You Google prednisone side effects, and if it's like a free list of side effects, good luck finding insomnia on there. Yeah, crazy, huh? It's the number 1, the worst. It's such a simple thing. Like, it's 1 word, and yet it's not on there. Crazy, huh? So that is why I created the ultimate list of prednisone side effects. If you go to this list, you can search, and so what I want you to do is search ultimate prednisone side effects, and it should come up with my website, prednisonepharmacist.com, and then you can search side effects. You can find out what to actually expect, because those other lists that you'll find aren't complete. They don't include insomnia. Guess what else they don't include? Weight gain. So, like, the number 5 worst side effect according to these people, and the number 1 worst side effect, not on the free lists. Inexplicably not there. So, if you want a real list of side effects, if you want to know what's actually a side effect, I just gave you the top 10 worst ones according to fellow prednisone warriors. But if you want to know, like, is a ticking, or like shaking, or hair loss, or restlessness, or lost teeth, are these side effects, or is it something else? Because that's the tough thing. It's like, I'm on this drug. Is it a side effect, or do I have a brand new condition showing up, right? If you want to know, go to my website, actually Google prednisone, ultimate prednisone side effects, and you will find my list, and then you'll be able to search. And it's got a little search box. You can just type it in, and then you'll see how often it's described, like how often a side effect list includes it. You'll be able to see when it's most likely to happen, whether at high doses or low doses, if we know that, because we don't know that for a lot of drugs. If it's most common, like with a short term or long term. So some people are only on prednisone for like 5 days, and some people are on prednisone forever. And so is this a side effect people are happening in just those 5 days, or is it a long-term thing? So if you want to know if your side effect is actually a real prednisone side effect that is documented in the literature, search my website and you can find out. And then once you do that, check out the rest of my website, because I have tons of things to help you not just survive prednisone, but thrive while on prednisone. I'm Dr. Megan, your prednisone pharmacist, signing off.